Howdy guys, and thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about the Nikon AW100, this cute little guy. It came out in about 2011. It's a waterproof camera that's also shockproof. I can drop it on the ground here. Anyways, I bought mine last year in, I believe, May. I bought it in preparation for kayaking season, just to play around with it, have some fun, and, shoot a video on it eventually. But I ended up forgetting it in my life jacket pocket after the first couple outings, and I didn't touch it again until this year. This year, my family was taking a trip down to Florida, so, doing a lot of swimming and stuff, and I wasn't about to go swimming with my expensive, not waterproof Sony, so I was like, oh yeah, I have this, and I dug it back up and brought it with me. So first up, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I love tiny cameras. I mean, this thing doesn't take amazing pictures, more on that later, but it is extremely tiny. You can see a little bit tinier than my phone, obviously. Dropped it. Shockproof. So yeah, this thing actually fits in your pocket. When I went swimming in it, it fit easily in the pocket of my swim trunks. No issues there. So this thing does have 16 megapixels, and the pictures it takes are pretty decent. I'd say your phone is probably pretty much the same, or maybe even slightly better, but this thing has a decently big sensor, 16 megapixels, and from my experience in daytime, photos look pretty good. They're not bad. Then shooting in low light conditions, I shot with this a lot at night when I was down in Florida. And it's okay. The decently big sensor does a okay job at high ISO, but it's not perfect. And I found that in auto mode, the camera usually prefers to reduce the shutter speed as opposed to increasing the ISO. So I ended up getting a lot of shaky photos. The IBIS in this in-body image stabilization is pretty good, but it wasn't good enough in a lot of cases. At night, I typically found myself reaching for my phone instead if I had a moment that I really wanted to capture. Now this thing does shoot 1080p video as well. It doesn't look great. I mean, it looks fine during the daytime, just like pictures, but at night, you're usually better off just using a phone, to be completely honest with you. But that being said, I have some samples up on the screen here so you can see. It's not completely unusable, but it's not great. With that being said, zooming in videos is extremely smooth. Generally the video quality, even though it was pretty much crap, it did give me a bit of a nostalgic feeling as someone who's, in my late 20s. Kind of reminds me of the cameras I had growing up with my family. And then in terms of usability, it's a pretty simplistic design. I mean, there's no buttons on the front or anything like that. On the top, you have the shutter button here, obviously. It's very chunky. I understand it needs to be that way to, to keep the camera waterproof and whatnot, but it can be a little bit finicky to push in sometimes. You have the power button right here. You know exactly what that does. On the back, you got a variety of buttons. This is the zoom switch right here. This is the video record button, the playback button, the photo button, and then just some quick buttons for various things, including menu navigation. And now, as you can probably tell, the menus on this thing are quite dated, very, early 2010s, but, they do the job. You can navigate through them. Finally, on the side here, there is a GPS button, because this camera does have GPS tracking, and look at that. It even has a map, so you can locate where you are, so you never get lost. But I had the GPS tracking turned off. I didn't really need it. Now let's pop the little lens hood on here. And let's talk about durability. So as you can see right there, this beast is waterproof up to 33 feet, and it is shockproof up to 5 feet, which is 1.5 meters. I've definitely tested the shockproof part. I have dropped this a few times, some intentionally, some unintentionally. No issues, you can drop it. And it just turns right back on and keeps shooting. I have dropped it on concrete from about standing height, so 5.5, maybe 6-ish feet. And again, it turned right back on, no problems. Got a couple of scrapes here on the front, but it's nothing too bad. That being said, I'm not gonna drop this out my window or anything for the video because I've actually taken a liking to this camera and I don't want it to die. Alright, now like I said, I bought this for kayaking season, and even though I mostly forgot about its existence for most of last year, I did end up taking it out a few times. So I'll just play you two quick video clips that I shot, I believe, last summer, where I'm testing the microphone and video quality after, it takes a dip in a lake.
I don't know if it actually works under that.
So excuse the goofy dress, but this is a mic test. I actually just dunked it in the lake here, and I don't know if it sounds good or not, but we're gonna find out in post-processing, so.
Awesome.
So yeah, as you can see in here, still looks and sounds pretty good. I never really had much issue with like spots getting on the lens and whatnot. And then in terms of like long-term submersion, when I took this down to the Viato Park into the ocean this year, I swam with it in my swim trunk pocket for at least 2-3 hours, so completely under Viato most of the time on the lazy river, and it came out just fine, no problems. And when it's submerged, every controller works just fine. You can operate the screen, you can shoot video, everything. Even the map, you can turn on the map if you're swimming. The thing to keep in mind is that the battery compartment for this, you do actually have to push in and twist, and it can be definitely a bit of a pain. But you can see the battery and the SD card are in there. Now, I've read online that a lot of people have issues with the seal on this battery compartment failing and killing the camera. Obviously, I'm still using it right now, so I have not had that issue. But I believe Nikon back in the day when this camera came out, they recommended sending it in every year to have it, you know, spruced up, make sure the waterproofing is still active. I'm not gonna concern myself with that. Obviously, I mean, I've got this thing used. Okay, so should you buy this thing? Maybe. I mean, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that's like, you need this camera in your camera bag. You know, the kind of video I'm talking about. I hate them. In any case, like, I don't know. It takes about as good of a picture as your phone, but it's a lot cheaper. Like, if I was swimming, or if I were, you know, cliff diving or something, I would be anxious about bringing my phone. I know phones these days are waterproof, but like, if it got lost, this is a lot more expensive to replace, and it has like my life on it. This is like $90 to $100, I think I bought it for. Like, if I drop this and break it or I lose it, like, I'm not gonna be that sad. So that's kind of where the strength of this thing lies. Like, it's kind of a fun one-around camera that you don't need to care about because, again, it is shockproof and waterproof. And if you do end up losing it or breaking it, you're out like $100. So, would I recommend that you buy it? Maybe. But in any case, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below. So if you do end up buying this cute little guy, I do get a tiny commission. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. And if you want to see me do any specific cameras, let me know. I've got some other Nikons in the pipeline that I think you'll like. I'll catch you next time.